Okay. So, welcome everybody for Dhamma Vichaya class. So this is going to be 11th, and we actually have discussed quite a number of sutras already. So I think you are all experts on all the key sutras. Bhantes are already experts. They have no choice. And we just discussed quite a number of sutras. So today I want to take up another very insightful sutra in the Samyutta Nikaya. So before we get to that perhaps maybe we could start off with a short blessing by both venerables. Yeah. And because they chant so beautifully. Yeah. And then maybe Alex can do a short chanting. I was so impressed with your chanting the other day. That was fantastic. Heart Sutra, wasn't it? Yeah, Heart Sutra.
Was. Thank you.
Wow, fantastic. That was, quite something. I wish I can memorize. Yeah. Over to you, Bhanthe. Bhanthe Dhammarathana.
Thank you, our Professor Sunil Kariyakarawana and Bhanthe Alupotha, and dear my friend, Mr. Alex, and Dhamma friends. We make a wish. Have a wonderful Vesak weekend, right? It is very positivity, love, and joyful. Make a wish, many blessings. Satagiro namo yakho tassaca asuring dito bhagavatoca maharaja sakko arahato tatha samma sambuddhoti brahmaraja Sahangpati Amhakang Dhammaraja Tatha Te Namasitu Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Worshipping the Lord Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha.
Wonderful, Bhanthe. I wish I have a voice like yours. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
That's quite wonderful. The best salutation to the Buddha. Excellent.
Satagiro namo
Mm.
Gata.
Yeah.
Starting.
So let's ask Venerable Vijita Siri, what is your favorite salutation to the Buddha?
Actually, normally I do the episode that Gatha for the salutation. I think can try and recite every time.
Okay.
And there are beautiful stanzas like Normally, when at the beginning of the puja, we recite Jannamadaya Nadia. That also very beautiful.
That's a beautiful one. Yeah. Yeah.
Normally, normally we recite Arabhata Nikamata. It's also really meaningful. Normally, in our monastic educations in my school, Vidyodaya we start with that Arabhata Nikamata. And at the end, Ovada Patimokka, that Sabba Pasakarnan, Kanti Paramanta Potitika, 3 gathas.
Wow,
We finished the studies with that stanza.
Oh, yeah,
Start with Arabhata Nikamata.
Wow, that's a lovely one. Could you do Arabhata Nikamata for us today? Yeah?
Yes, sir, definitely. Together with our Dhammarathana. Let's start.
Arabhata Nikamata Yunjata Buddha Sasani Dunata Majjuno Senang Nalagaram Kunjaru Yo imasmin Dhamma vinani Appamatto vivissati Pahaya jati samsara Dukkha santam karissati.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Wonderful. That's really beautiful. So the meaning of that is, Alex, it's in a sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya called Arunavati Sutta. It's a very special location. One of the disciples of the Buddha, Sikhi, actually was chanting it. And the meaning it, Arabhata Nikamata, means arouse your energy. Nikamata means kind of strive on. Yunjata means exert yourself in the Buddha's teaching. Yunjata Buddha Sasani. Dhunata Machuno Senang means sweep away the army of the Mara, the death. Yeah, Mara. So, and just like an elephant, Nala Garang Kunjaro, that's a kind of very beautiful analogy. An elephant does a hut of reeds. So basically, if just like an elephant enters into the bamboo or bamboo, forest, just break them away, the hollow bamboos. So, and then he says, one who dwells diligently, whosoever, diligent in this Dhamma and the discipline, having abandoned the wandering in the birth of samsara, pahaya jati samsara, dukkha santang karisati, will make an end to this suffering, mass of suffering. Yeah, it's beautiful, fantastic. Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of, it has kind of, it's like a French national anthem, strive on, move on. It's yes,
the Buddhist version.
The Buddhist version of the French national anthem. Yeah. 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 So my favorite salutation is something called Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sabba Dhammesu Appatihata Jnana Charasa Dasabala Dharasa Dasabala Dharasa Chatuvesarajya Visaradas Dhammarajas, Dhammasamis, Dhammisaras, Tathagato, Sabbanyuno, Samma Sambuddhas. Yeah. So that's my salutation to the Buddha. So what's your salutation, Alex?
Interesting question. I think my favorite salutation from the Chinese canon would be the precepts.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
The precepts and the taking refuge to, which you also do in traditional evening ceremony.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is really nice, and well, that is to the Buddha Shakyamuni, and in Pure Land Buddhism you also have the Buddha Amitabha.
Yeah.
Where you have the Pure Land Dharani, and that is that we use very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just someone wants to just join, just to listen to this particular sutta that we are doing. Just give me 1 second. So, okay. Forward. Okay. So
if you wish,
yeah,
I can. Yeah.
Amitabha Buddha. Is it what's that? Can you recite it?
I can recite it. Yes. Okay. It starts with making prostrations to the Buddha. So
yeah.
Namo Ben Shi释迦 Moni Pho. Namo Ben Shi释迦 Moni Pho. Namo Ben Shi释迦 Moni Pho. Namo Amida Pho Yedo Tache Yedo Tieto Amilido Piamilido Sidam Piamilido Pijan Piamilido Pijan Do Chemini Jena Do Jalisa Namo Amido Pho Ye Do Tache Do Yedo Tieto Amilido Piamilido Sidam Piamilido Pijan Piamilido Pijan Jamini Jena Do Jalisa Namo Amido Pho Ye Do Cha Zero Yedo Tieto Amilido Piamilido Sidam Amilido Pijalan Amilido Pijalan Do Chemini Jena Do Jali Sapo Omitofo. That's it.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. So how did you encounter the Chan Buddhism?
I started long time ago with martial arts. And through martial arts, through a good teacher, I've learned that this particular martial art, Shaolin Kung Fu, is just one method, just one upaya for realization. So it's a method of clarity creation alongside Chan meditation. And from there on, I started studying Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, Pure Land Buddhism, and then went to China. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's fantastic. It's a Chan which became Zen, isn't it? So it's Chan and Zen. It's kind of, the word, it's the same word, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same word. It's Chan is Chinese and Zen is Japanese.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's make a start. Bhante, now remember last time. Do you remember our discussion last time? What was our discussion?
You explained about the Lokuttara.
Yeah.
And the Sabba. So that Ditta, Sata, Mata, and Vinyata is Sabba, and outside of that is Lokuttara.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's beautiful. So we actually went to read Mahachattarisaka, Great 40. I think this sutta is so crucially important. I find it extremely helpful because see, a lot of people bring Buddhism down to their level rather than raising them to Buddhism's level, isn't it? You know, we always tend to do that, don't we? So whenever we hear a master, I mean, you know, master, you know, we tend to rather than trying to understand or where the master is taking us to, we bring it to our level. And this is a very big issue in every faith, isn't it? I mean, you know, all the sacred words, you know, could be brought down to your level, which is kind of sad. So, I mean, the Mahachattarisaka Sutta helps me, like, you know, really understand what is worldly, the worldly realm, and then the realm that goes beyond the world. I mean, you know, one thing we don't realize is we are, you know, we are stuck in this sixth sense world. Ditta Sutta Muta Vinyat. 4. And we have no experience beyond that. So therefore, our way of understanding the Buddhism is only within, and that's why we say, okay, mindfulness. So what's mindfulness? Mindfulness is, you know, just being aware of this moment. Yeah. So what's the problem with that then? Any guesses? So what's the problem with, like, you know, mindfulness of this moment? You know, it is the definition. Is says bring your attention to this moment on purpose, non-judgmentally. That's how they define mindfulness. But that's actually very, very counterintuitive. Because if you just say this moment, then that is a judgment in itself, isn't it? Yeah. So, and then this is yeah. So therefore, I mean, let me put it this way. I used this analogy many times. You know, when we describe the land to a fish has no experience of the land. A fish only knows what is inside the water. Yeah, it's never being outside the water. So every time somebody describes, let's say a tortoise actually who goes both in the water and in the land, describes the water. Well, the trees and the houses and the people in the land. And then every time we talk about those, the fish is actually thinking of what is inside the water, like all the corals inside the water, in the sea. So, I mean, that's the problem. And it's an epistemological problem. It's, jnana mimamsa. Like, how do we know what we know is right or wrong? So this is where we need a Buddha to come to us and tell us. So, and the Eightfold Noble Path. Now let's take Eightfold Noble Path, for example. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, and right stillness or concentration. So these can be actually interpreted just as in the world, like, in a very worldly way. And that is, really problematic, isn't it? It's like, right view, what's right view? Everybody knows a right view. Does that mean everybody is enlightened? Yeah, samadhi, isn't it? Yeah, right understanding. Yeah, right understanding or right view. So, how do we know that is what the Buddha meant by right view? The Buddha says, what is right view? Dukkhe jnana, dukkha samudaye jnana, dukkha nirodhe jnana, nirodhagamini patipadaya jnana. So, dukkhe jnana means knowledge of the dukkha. Dukkha samudaya jnana, the cause of the dukkha. Nirodhe jnana. So there was a really beautiful discussion at the retreat, because Bhikkhu, like, I don't know if you have read this article. Bhikkhu Bodhi writes an article where he says, he quotes this Buddha's statement. In the statement, it says, what does it say? It says, let me read that. Let me. That's a really interesting question. Let me actually get that article for you, because that will be of interest to you. Okay.
Bodhihandru came to our Dhammavijaya temple a couple of days ago.
Oh, did he? Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went for the Vesak season.
Yeah. For the Vesak, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is Bhikkhu Bodhi's article. Let me just open it up for you. Can you read that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I teach only suffering and the end of suffering. And this is the title. This is his title. No, I didn't quite say that, the Buddha. So I mean, it's a short article, not a long one, so we can easily read it. One statement popularly ascribed to the Buddha is quoted as often that it has become virtually an axiom of modern Buddhism. The statement appears in several formulations, the broadest of which runs, I teach only suffering and the cessation of suffering. A variant reads, I teach only two things, suffering and the end of suffering. And another variant makes the point even more sharply. I teach one thing and one thing only, suffering and the end of suffering. Surprise, surprise. Nowhere in the Pali Canon does the Buddha himself actually say this. The statement ascribed to him is not altogether without a basis in the canon, but the way the original is commonly expressed represents a translation error rooted in a grammatical misunderstanding. The sentence we do find reads in Pali. Now, this is the sentence. Kubbe chahang bhikkhave etarahicha dukkhancheva panyape dukkhasacha nirodha. Now, this is the sentence. Yeah. Kubbe cha, yeah. So, Ubbe chahang bhikkhave etarahicha dukkhancheva panyapemi dukkhasacha nirodha. Before I get to the grammatical error, I should point out that contrary to what we might expect, the sentence in no way serves as a hallmark of the Buddha's teaching in its entirety. An outline search through the thousands of pages of Buddhist scriptures runs up the sentence only twice. And the two places in which it occurs makes it plain that the Buddha did not mean to say he teaches only suffering and the cessation and nothing else. Rather, he was saying something quite different, which on each occasion is determined by the context. To see how the error arose requires a short excursion into the field of Pali syntax, because I thought this is relevant to our Pali learning. That's why I'm very keen on reading this. To construct a conjunction in Pali, the word cha means and. Now you all know that by now. Cha means and. Normally follows each noun or phrase that it links. This, of course, is different from English, where and occurs between the terms being joined. Thus, while in English we would say the cat and the dog are playing on the mat, in Pali one would say the cat and the dog and on the mat are playing. Yeah, okay. Often enough, not always, the first in a conjunction is followed by the emphatic particle eva, cheva, ubbe cheva. By the Pali rules of liaison, that is sandhi, whereby sounds in close proximity affect each other. Cha eva turns into cheva. In some contexts, eva has an exclusionary sense, meaning only, solely. taking eva in the sense seems to explain how the famous dictum of the Buddha came to be interpreted to mean that he teaches only suffering and it's a cessation. In conjunctions, however, eva does not have this exclusionary sense. It simply adds a slight emphasis to the initial ch of the conjunction. Thus, going back to our English example, the construction in Pali syntax would be as follows. The cat and indeed the dog and on the mat are playing. With a proper understanding of the cha construction, the sentence about the Buddha's teaching is more correctly translated in the past months and also now I teach suffering and the cessation of suffering. There is no only in the sentence and thus the purport of the words is not categorically exclusive. In each of the passages in which the statement is made, it occurs in a specific context that brings out the intended meaning. In Majjhima Nikaya 22, it is rejoined to the change raised by hostile ascetics and Brahmins, that the Buddha teaches the annihilation of a truly existing being. In Samyutta Nikaya 2286, it explains the Buddha's refusal to take a stand in the debates concerning the fate of an enlightened person after death. In both instances, the sentence shifts attention away from speculative hypothesis towards practical project. But in neither case does it tie the teaching down to the exclusive area of concern. In thousands of suttas, the Buddha teaches other things besides suffering and its cessation. For instance, in a series of dialogues in the Samyutta Nikaya, monks ask him how one can be reborn as a Naga, a Garuda, a Gandhabba, that is as a celestial dragon, a celestial angel, or a fragrance deity. And the Buddha doesn't waive the question aside because they aren't concerned with suffering and its cessation. Rather, he gives a straightforward answer based on the law of karma. The Anguttara Nikaya is particularly rich in suttas touching on the wide range of practical topics, from types of marriages to planning the household budget. When the Buddha speaks, it is said he always intends his words to lead to the welfare and happiness of the hearers. But his words are not always tied to the theme of suffering and its cessation. To insist on confining them to this topic is a drastically narrow and range of the Dharma. I have to confess that I am one of the perpetrators of this literally flow fast. For in several of my own past writings, I authoritatively cited the wrongly rendered version of the statement as proof that the Buddha's entire teaching was only about suffering and the end of suffering. But I have since learned otherwise. Okay, so I mean this goes on. So it's only one paragraph. So let's finish it then. That's all I have. Yeah, okay. And then Um, but I have since learned otherwise. This experience has enabled me to see how linguistic misunderstandings of Buddhist texts can give rise to wrong doctrinal interpretations and even promulgate modern myths about the meaning of Buddhism. Our contemporary environment of thought, which relishes reducing complex systems of ideas to simple catchphrases and slogans, has also contributed to the distortion. I can't help wondering many other myths there are about Buddhism that owe their origins to flawed translations and selective quotations. No doubt quite a few favorites would turn up on the causality list. It's become a current fashion for people to ascribe any adage they like to the Buddha without entertaining second thoughts about sources. I've already met my share of such sayings on blogs and bumper stickers, and as time goes by, I expect I'll meet many more. But if the Dharma is to be presented accurately, the example discussed above shows that we should be careful when quoting the Buddha's words to ensure that the Dharma is understood and transmitted correctly. We cannot escape the need for serious study of the text with an understanding of the classical languages in which they have been presented. Okay, now that's the short article, Bhikkhu Bodhi. Yeah, but I wanted to actually make a so you tell me what your position really is here. Yeah, I'd like to hear from you. Okay. did you get the point, Bhante? Yes.
Yes,
So Bhikkhu Bodhi is plainly saying, it's not right to translate. Translation errors can give you misreadings. Wrong translations obviously lead to wrong meaning. Yeah, that's quite straightforward. I do take the general point that he's making. But what is your position? Do you think Buddha, here there is an emphasis of only emphasis here, or do you think that that is not? What's your take on it?
actually, I remember that there is a sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. I forget. I think it's the Pottapada Sutta or something like that. That one monk come and he say, what is the beginning, the 10 questions, answering questions asked
Yeah,
from the Buddha, and
yeah,
he repeated, he's silent. After that,
yeah.
he say, I give up this monkhood and I become an ordinary person if you don't if you don't reply to me.
Answer my
Answer me.
question. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Then he said, did I agree with you to answer this like that? And he finally
yeah.
said, you should behave like the arrow. When some throw arrow to you, should not think who made this and what of made this arrow and like that. You should
Yeah,
treat your wound like that. I explain not the origin of the world or destruction of the world. The my
yeah,
main purpose is the Four Noble Truth like this.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, yeah. Alex, what's your position?
I don't know. I have a position.
You don't have a position, okay? No,
No, no.
no.
I don't know what my position on this would be,
Yeah.
because linguistically speaking, and this
Mm-hmm.
is what this is of course about, this is really interesting to me.
Yeah. Very
Because
interesting. Yeah.
because this is of course also a thing of ignorance, because if you don't know the
Mm-hmm.
language,
Yeah.
then then you would never be able to understand the
Yeah,
original
exactly.
meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. I mean, you can't translate, you can't interpret a sentence without really knowing the context. That's a very standard, standard um, thing, like, do you remember in a letter Trotsky writes to Lenin. One time he was writing a sentence like this. Let me just write it down for you. Um, at the end of his letter, um, he says this. Oh, sorry. Uh, let me, okay. He says, uh, this. You are right. Okay. He writes a sentence like this at the end of his letter. What does he say? You are right, I am wrong. But what he really meant was not this, what he really meant was, do you think you are right? I am wrong. So basically, this exclamation mark changes its reading completely. Do you think you are right, I'm wrong? You are mistaken. So within parentheses, you can say you are mistaken. Yeah, that means you are wrong. Here means you are right, I'm wrong. I mean, depending on the emphasis, the meaning completely changes, doesn't it? Now, do you know the meaning of this sentence? Okay. What's the meaning of this sentence? Do you know the meaning of this sentence? Woman without a man is nothing.
Is she though?
Exactly. Now, if it says that this sentence was given in a class to interpret what it is, what women did was women punctuated it like this: woman without her, man is nothing. Yeah. Now that was how the women interpreted. But the men interpreted in a, woman without a man, not here, not, the function, woman without a man is nothing. You see how the meaning changes?
Yeah, very interesting.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, Bhante, did you understand it? Yeah.
Yes, sir. In
Yeah.
Sinhala also there is a legend that when the Saradiyal caught by the Englishman, they said
Yes.
Yanna then
Yeah.
Maranna like Yanna
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Maranna. The
Oh,
comma
yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's
Saradiyal
exactly
epa
this.
maranna Saradiyal
මොකද
maranna epa.
Oh.
මරන්න එපා යන්න දෙන්න.
Oh.
But he said මරන්න එපා යන්න දෙන්න. එතන මරන්න
That's it.
එකට කමාව දැම්ම. එතකොට
Yeah. Yeah.
සරදියල් මරන්න
That
එපා
that
යන්න දෙන්න.
means,
සරදියල්
yeah.
මරන්න එපා යන්න දෙන්න.
Yeah. It is. I mean, for Alex, that means kill him. Don't let him go. So basically, yeah. So I mean, so this is the, a language can never be understood without its context. Yeah. Um, now, what is now? I will ask you. If I ask you, if I will write you, write a sentence here. Sorry, a word here, and you tell me whether it's a verb or a noun. Is this a verb or a noun?
No.
Both.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It is both a verb. So you can say, don't mother me. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, without actually seeing the context, you can't interpret. So my reaction here is actually, I don't know, my reaction is Bhikkhu Bodhi is overreacting to it. Because there is another sutta called Sela Sutta where the Sela, she's an arahant. Yeah. She says like this: Dukkha, dukkha, dukkha mevahi, dukkha mevahi sambhoti. Yeah, dukkha mevahi sambhoti, dukkhang tithati veticha. Nanyatra dukkha sambhoti nanyatra dukkha nirujjati. So here, this is an arahant, arahant bhikkhuni. She says, dukkha meva hi sambhoti. If something arises, what arises in is dukkha. Yeah. Dukkhang tithati vechicha. There is only suffering. Nanyatra dukkha sambhoti. There is nothing other than dukkha which arises. Nothing other than dukkha vanishes. Yeah. So now, do you not get the meaning only here? I mean, one can easily get the only meaning here. Can you not?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And the other good example is, sorry, I'm just, yeah. So other example is, the Buddha says this, dukhe, dukhe loko patithito. The loko means world. This is world. Patithito, rest, or establish, or is placed on. Rest means placed on. Yeah. Dukhe, in the dukkha. In the dukkha. Yeah. So the world rests in the dukkha. So, it's not it's not that dukkha is inside the world and we can remove it. Yeah. And keep the world. But the world rests on dukkha. This is dukkha. So, so this is why I think philosophically trying to remove the word, remove dukkha is pointless, isn't it? You can't remove the dukkha because dukkhe loko patithito, world rests on the dukkha, not loke dukkho patithito. Yeah. Otherwise, the Buddha would have said, loke dukkho patithito. Yeah. I mean, this is how we interpret, we understand, or we think that there is suffering in the world. And the suffering is removed, the world can remain. But that is, quite otherwise. Now that's is that so therefore, and I think we need to write a commentary to Bhikkhu Bodhi. He's a veteran, he's a monk and a marathon translator, lovely monk. But I was actually hoping to write an email to Bhikkhu Bodhi and tell him. I mean, he always loves to hear other people's ideas, opinions. So in other words, dukkha and the nirodha are not two separate things. Dukkha is the world. Nirodha is the nirvana. It's samsara and the nirvana. Yeah. So Nagarjuna says, it's one and the same thing. What is it? Nagarjuna Bhanthe was it?
Sansarasya nirvanat kinchidasti visesanam nirvanasya sansarat kinchidasti visesanam. There is no special characteristic how translate in sansara nivane venasak nahi like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's lovely. Having a good Sanskrit scholar is very useful. Yeah, and a good chanting monk and a critical thinker, all of them
Actually,
very.
in Sakuludaya Sutta also I preach it in this Vesak full moon day. It's discuss Sakuludaya meet the Buddha and he said people respect for 5 reasons for the Buddha. Then Buddha rejected. After that, Buddha explained why people respect him. One point is because of that Buddha preached the Dhamma to overcome this samsaric suffering. The Sattis Bodhipakkha, 37 elements of the path of the Nibbana. He explained to eradicate the suffering, dukkha. And that's why people respect him like that. This is a good point, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So fantastic.
And the Buddha,
Yeah.
one day, Buddha say, Pita Sutta,
Yeah.
Pita Sutra, Kismin Loko Patitito, Dukke Loko Patitito.
That's it.
And the Loka
Yeah.
Sutta Kismin Loko Samuppanno, just Loko Samuppanno. Buddha say.
Exactly. Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. What's the question, Bhante? Kisming loko patitito. What are the other lines?
Kismin Loko Samuppanno.
Kisming loko samuppanno. Then?
Chassu Loko. Chassu.
Oh.
Chassu.
Chasu
Loko
loko.
Samuppanno.
I think
chasu.
Ajattakani Ayatanani Veditabani.
Yeah, 6 faculties.
Yeah. Chasu loko samuppanno. Yeah.
There is no
yeah.
from
No, that stanza goes like this. Kenasu bihito loko, kenasu parivarito, kenasu pihito loko, kisming loko patitito, isn't it? Yeah? Kenasu bihito loko. Say kenasu bihito loko, yeah? Usbihito, ne? Kenasu bihito loko. So that's a beautiful stanza. Kena suddhito loko. Suddhito loko. Ke nasu, sorry, parivarito. Ke nasu pihi to loko. Kisming loko patitito. Yeah. So, kena suddhito loko. What, who holds, who is actually holding the world? Now, the answer was Machuna. You see, Machuna pihito loko. It is the Mara. Mara is holding the world. Kenasu parivarito. Jaraya parivarito. Jaraya. Yeah, parivarita means surrounded by. Parivarito. Kenasu pihito loko. I can't remember. Machuna pihito loko. Kenasu uddhito loko. Kenasu parivarito. Kenasu pihito loko. Kisming loko patito. Machuna pihito loko. Jaraya parivarito. I can't remember the third line, Bhante. The last one is Dukhe. That's the one we are taking. Dukhe loko patitito. What's the third line?
I think so. This is the third line. Machuna pihito loko, no?
Machuna pihito loko. Okay. What's the first one then? Machuna pihito loko. Jaraya parivarito. Kena suddhito loko. Tanhaya, sorry. I just, Tanha yuddhito loko. Tanhaya uddhito. It is, loko. The world is actually held by the tanha. Tanha yuddhito loko. Jaraya parivarito. Machuna pihito loko. Dukhe loko patitito. Wow. Okay. So this must be way too fast for Alex, but he's a very sharp man. So I'm not worried about Alex.
Thank you.
So you get the meaning, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was very clear.
Yeah, excellent. So dukhe loko patittito rather than loke dukho patittito. If the Buddha said other way around, then the one can argue, oh, we remove the dukkha and keep the world. Yeah, that's what most Buddhists are trying to do. Yeah. And that's why the dukkha is to be realized, not removed. You can't remove the dukkha. Yeah, removing dukkha is absolutely impossible. Yeah, so yeah, and that's something to remember. Yeah. Any other points, Bhante? Bhante, Vijayasiri is very sharp. Yeah, like a blade, razor blade.
I think Vikubodhi's there's one good point that he recorrect himself. No, as I understood, he said,
Yeah. He's
previously I was.
recorrecting, but his general point is valid. What he says is be careful with translation. I mean, translation always can be misleading. I mean, I really feel for the people who are trying to learn Buddhism through translation. Yeah. Rather than actually, I mean, this is why we really need to learn Sanskrit, learn Pali. I mean, whatever language the scriptures are in, so that we don't misrepresent um, the sacred words. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely
So,
agree.
yeah, fantastic. So, I mean, there is a saying that the translator is a traitor. In Sinhala, it's called dub. Du is two languages. If you speak two languages, you are called dubbahi. Yeah, and the dubbahi became tuppahi. Yeah, so people who speak two languages are, there's a derogatory word, tuppahi, tuppahiya. So tuppahiya, dubbahiya means, speaking two languages. So they tend to translate the target language into the source language. Yeah. So, there's also, I was teaching translation methods in linguistics, and there's a saying, trying to understand something through a translation is like trying to smell a flower, from outside of a glass seal casket, you know. So there is a flower inside. Malak, ඇතුලේ තියෙන malak එළියේ ඉඳන් මේව කරන්න වගේ. Just like trying to smell a flower, which is inside a glass seal casket. So that's very true. And that's why, that's why we need to learn some Pali. Yeah, and interpret or try to understand the Buddha's message. Otherwise, we will miss the whole thing. So what we will do, we will take a short break. And after the break, I'm going to introduce another new sutta to you, where I'm going to enlighten you completely in one go. Yeah. So how does that?
Perfect. Should I invite more people?
No, don't rush, because if you have more people, see, the Buddha had only 5 disciples. Yeah, after striving so much in eons and eons of his past no, this is so important. Venerable Anuruddha, in the Anuruddha Sangyutta, there is a beautiful sutta where he's just thinking alone. If you miss satipatthana, the mindfulness, right mindfulness, you miss the whole journey. Yeah. If you knew exactly what satipatthana was, to be understood or developed, and then you are on the track. So, it's a fine, thin line. Either you are turning this way or that way. It's like coming to a junction where, you don't know whether to turn left or right. Yeah. So that's where you need good fortune. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a short break and come back and get fully enlightened. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Bhanthe Dhammarathana is not interested because he's already enlightened. Yeah. So, yeah, we are, I think if we read this sutta, I told you about, this might actually give you a really good, sorry, I think it's just wrong. No. No. It's yeah. Now remember last time we discussed Mahachattari Sutta. Let's finish that Mahachattari Sutta. It's called Grade 40. So why is it called Grade 40? I asked the last time to figure it out. You should tell me why it's called Grade 40. Mahachattari Sutta. Let's have a look.
It must have something to do with multiplication, as many times there is in sutras.
Yeah. Very, very much so, Alex. Buddhism is about like a shopping list, It's a lot of multiplications. Yeah. Yeah. So, uh, okay. And now we just read a few things. I mean, so I mean, you have to read it very carefully to understand. I mean, it's a very deep sutta. I mean, all the sutras in the Uparipannasaka, the last volume of the Majjhima Nikaya, are killers. It really, they are very deep. So it's not easy to understand. So, but yeah, multiplication. So what do you have to multiply to come to 40? Huh? Yeah, sorry?
Last time called Dasavastuka Mityad.
Yeah. Yeah, Dasavastaka Vidyadittis is, of course, one, but that's not what becomes 10. 10 is like Eightfold Noble Path. Yeah? Eightfold Noble Path. So, why is it not writing? For some reason, my writing, new whiteboard. Yeah. You are screen sharing. Why is it not writing? Probably. Let me just take this out and then put this again. I have a writing problem, Bhanthe. Let me see. Can see what you're sharing, recording on. Text. Okay. Can I then just take a word? Just stop share. Can share host only. Host, yeah. Share advanced sharing options. Shouldn't do. I was writing, okay.
Don't worry about that. Maybe chanting, maybe reading a sutta.
Yeah, let's read the sutta then, yeah. But there is I think my pen or something is gone wrong. Yeah, I mean, so let's yeah. We have to multiply 10 into 4 to get 40. Yeah, 40. So what tens? Now it's not this the michaditi, 10 michaditis. It's eightfold noble path. Eightfold noble path. It's called dasa attanga samannagato seko dasanga samannagato araha. So when you enlighten yourself, your 8 becomes 10. How does it become 10? So, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right stillness. Those are the eightfold noble paths. Now everybody knows those 8. But 8 is only for the sakers. Sakers are the unenlightened. Like they are not fully enlightened. They are the sotapannas, stream enterers. In the Zen, it's called satori. I don't know what it is called in Chan. What does it call in Chan, Alex?
Sorry?
One who is a stream enterer in Zen, it's called Satori.
Satori, yeah.
Yeah. And what does it call in Chan?
Chan, that's a good question.
Uh-huh. You can find out and let us
Yes.
know. Yeah. Okay, great. So I mean, the journey, the Buddhist journey is not just happens just. I mean, it can happen. Anybody can attain arahanthood just like that. But there are 4 pairs of Aryans. But the journey starts with the Sotapanna. Sotapanna is a stream enterer. The Sota, what does the Sota refers to? What is the stream here? The stream is Eightfold Noble Path. Yeah, that's the stream. So you have to enter the Eightfold Noble Path to become a Satori or become a stream enterer. Well, otherwise you are outside. Yeah. So that's quite important. So the Seka means a trainee. Now then only you become a trainee. You can't be without being a trainee, you can't become a fully enlightened. Yeah. So how does the 8 become 10? Is you have two other so Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vaya, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi, and then Samma Jnana, because you are developing a faculty, the faculty of Jnana, knowledge, and Samma Vimukti. So to the extent that you develop the Jnana, Prajna, you are liberating yourself, right? So the Buddha says, countless number of sansaric existence is now reduced to 7. The Sotapanna is not born more than 7 times. Yeah. So now that's their vimukti. Yeah, they have actually limited existence, right? So Samma Jnana, Samma Vimukti. Those are the 10. That is what makes it 10. Now Dasa Angehi Samannagato Araha. Now, the Samma Jnana is not complete in the Sekas until you become Arahant. So Samma Jnana, Samma Vimukti. Now the Arahant is now that complete, and that is actually complete not just in the worldly realm, but in the supramundane level as well. So that's Lokiya level and Lokuttara level. Yeah. But Lokiya level, you have now understood Kusala and Akusala. So Kusala, so there is Kusala side of the Lokiya, Akusala side. And then there is Kusala side of the Lokuttara, Akusala side of the Lokuttara. So now 10 into 4, what number do you get? 40, yeah? That's right. That's what Maha Chattarisaka means. Great 40. So, Kusala side, Akusala side, Lokiya side, Lokuttara side. Yeah? So that way the 10 becomes 40. And that's Maha Chattarisaka Sutta. I mean, that's a really important sutta. Once you really understand that, you know how, it's not the Lokuttara side. There is no such thing as, I mean, both sides, Kusala, Akusala is knowing the Akusala as Akusala itself is the one which, liberate you. Okay. Now let's have a look at something totally different. Now we are actually getting little deeper and advanced. We are becoming advanced students. So that may be a scary thing in some ways. So we are now moving into a different sutta called, now this sutta is found in Sangyutta Nikaya. The sutta name is called Patama Rahogata Sutta. Patama means first. Rahogata means seclusion, like alone. A sutta where Venerable Anuruddha. Okay, let's read this. Who is going to read it then?
Evam Esukan Ekan Samayam Ayasma Anuruddho Savatyan Viharati Jetavane Anatha Pindika Sarame Atako Ayasma Anuruddhassa Rahogatassa Patisallinassa Evam Chetaso Parivitakko Udapadi Yesam Kesanchi Chattaro Satipattana Viradha Viradho Tesam Aryo Maggo Samma Dukkakayagami.
Dukkakayagami. Yeah.
Dukkakayagami. Yesam Kesanchi Chattaro Satipattana Aradha Aradho
Sorry.
It's okay. Aradha Tesam Ariyo Maggo Samma Dukkakaya Gamiti.
Yeah, very good. Now that's a very, I mean, you have to pay attention here. Now, this happens to Venerable Anuruddha. Anuruddha is a very famous Arahant who came from a very rich family. Anuruddha. So there is Sutrudda Sangyutta, where he actually discusses very deep Dhamma. So this is the words of Anand, Venerable Ananda. Evam me sutam. Thus have I heard. Ekang samaya. One time. Ayasma anuruddho savatyam viharati. Anuruddha. Venerable Anuruddha is living at Savatthi. Jetavane Anathapindika Sarami. In the Anathapindika's Arama. Yeah. Atako ayasmato anuruddhasa rahogatasa. Patisallinasa evan chetaso parivitakko udapadi. Atako, at that time, then ayasmato anuruddhasa. To the Ayasmat Anuruddha, Rahogatasa means who is in seclusion. Patisallinasa is alone, living alone. Evam chetaso parivitakko udapadi. Uh, you know, thought arose. Chetaso parivitakko means kind of a thought, thinking thought. Udapadi arose. Yeah. And what's that thought? Yesan kesanchi, that means whosoever, chattaro satipatthana viradha, missed four foundations of, or four satipathanas, yeah, viradho tesam ariyo maggo. To them, the noble path is missed. That eightfold noble path is missed. If you miss the satipatthana, you miss eightfold noble path. There is no chance. So it's not a highway, because you have to, have that highway. Yeah. Now this is called Samma Dukkhakkaya Gami. Now that is the qualifier. That qualifies the Aryo Maggo. A noble path is Samma Dukkhakkaya Gami. It actually ends suffering, in a adequate manner. Yeah. So, what is the thought that arose in Anuruddha, Venerable Anuruddha?
If someone misunderstand for Satipatthana, he go wrong side.
Exactly. So, yesan kesanchi chattaro satipatthana viradha. Viradha means goes against. That means does not digest, does not understand, does not practice. In plain English, that means if you don't practice the four foundations of mindfulness in the right way, you miss the bus, you miss the train, you miss the Eightfold Noble Path. So, in the same way, the second sentence says, Yesan kesanchi, whosoever, chattaro satipatthana aradha, rightly entered the Satipatthanas, four Satipatthanas, Aradhate Sangaryomag, they also got the Aryan, path. So one way to get the Arya path right, Eightfold Noble, get into the Eightfold Noble Path, you have to first know Satipatthana in the proper way. Yeah. And that's the thought that arose in Balarud. Atako ayasma ma mahamogallanu ayasmato anuruddhasa chetasa cheto parivitak manvaya manyaya parivitak manyaya anyaya. That means now Mahamogallana, this is a psychic master. Mahamogallana is a psychic master. He knew. I mean, he can read other people's mind miles and miles away. Atako ayasma Mahamogallanu ayasmato anuruddhasa chetasa cheto parivitak manvaya Seyatapinama balava puriso. Now this is a common statement to show the speed with which they act. Sayatapi nama balava puriso, just like a powerful man. Saminjitang va bahang pasareya. Just like, uh, just like a powerful man, just stretches the arm in that speed. Mahamoggallana or Sayatapi nama balava puruso samminjitang va bahang pasareya. Yeah. Pasaritang va bahang samminjeya. Just like, again, fold the straight arm. Evameva, just like that, ayasmato anuruddhas sammukhe katurahosi, just appears in front of Anuruddha. This is, So this is, what happens. What happens? You live with a friend who has a psychic power. They can just appear in front of you, even unnoticed, even without sending a WhatsApp message. Yeah. Usually we send a WhatsApp message before you appear. So I'm sure he must have sent another different message. Anyway, Atako ayasma mahamoggallano ayasmantang anuruddham etadavocha. Having come there, he said this. Anuruddham etadavocha. Chittavatanuko auso anuruddha bhikkhuno chattaro satipattana aradda honti. Now, tell me, my friend Anuruddha, how does one fulfill, or how does one actually get into the Satipatthana in the proper way, right way? Yeah? Idhavuso bhikkhu ajjattang va kai samude dhammanupassi viharat. Ajjattang kai vayadhammanupassi viharat. Ajjattang kai samudaya vayadhammanupassi viharati. Atapi sampajano satima. Vinaya loke abhijja domanasa. Yeah. Now, this is little complicated. I want you to actually Bahiddava kai samudaya dhammanupassi. Bahiddava kai vayadhammanupassi. Bahiddava kai samudaya vayadhammanupassi. So, do you get the meaning here, Bhante? Whereabouts? Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. So remember, ajjatta iti ajjattam va kai kayanupasi bahiddha va kai ajjatta bahiddha va kai. Then ajjatta kai samudaya dhammanupassi, ajjatta kai vayadhammanupassi, ajjatta kai samudaya vayadhammanupassi, bahiddha kai samudaya dhammanupassi, bahiddha kai vayadhammanupassi, bahiddha kai samudaya vayadhammanupassi. Then ajjatta bahiddha kai samudaya dhammanupassi, ajjatta bahiddha kai vayadhammanupassi, ajjatta bahiddha kai samudaya vayadhammanupassi. Now, in 9 different ways, your mindfulness has to develop for you to be in the Eightfold Noble Path. So 9 into 4 foundations. 4 foundations are 9 times. So what is the number again? 9 times 4? You all
9
seem
36. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, I thought you were all, you know, zone out. But yeah,
moved
36.
on.
Okay, 36. Yeah, so this is now the most important part. The Kayanupasana, the body awareness has to be developed 9 times. Awareness of feelings have to be developed 9 times. Awareness of chittas have to be developed 9 times. Awareness of Dhamma has to be developed 9 times. 9 into 4, 36 times. So if you have developed your mindfulness, you would have developed it in 36 different ways. Aha. Oh, that's a tricky one, isn't it? So now that is the samudaya vaya. That's actually what appears in Ajatang vakaye samudaya dhammanupasi. Bahidda vakaye samudaya. Ajatta bahidda vakaye. Yeah. Now, Ajata Bahida Vakai Samudaya Dhammanupasi. Ajata Bahida Samudaya. Ajata Bahida Samudaya. So it actually requires little bit of reflection again, like Mahachatari Sutta. Yeah. You know, if I tell you it is like this, perhaps you will not sorry, but the Vijayasiri has his connection has lost. So so this you need to figure out actually very, very carefully. But the only clue that I can give you is to say Ajattakaya, Bahiddakaya, Ajatta Bahiddakaya, Samudayakaya, Vayakaya, Samudaya Vayakaya. So that's what's really difficult. Vijay, do you get it?
Sorry, Dr. Sunil, I got these 9 things, but I'm not sure whether I got that how it becomes 36.
Okay. Or 9 into 4. Yeah. 4 foundations. Now, if you take one, it is 9. Like Kaya Anupassana 9, Vedana Anupassana 9, Chitta Anupassana 9, Dhamma Anupassana 9. Yeah. 9 into 4, 36. Yeah. So, but the thing is really to understand how does it become 9. Then Anuruddha actually he gives us he gives us the answer very well. Idhavuso bhikkhu ajjattankaye samudaya dhammanupassī viharati ajjattankaye vaya dhammanupassī viharati ajjattankaye samudaya vaya dhammanupassī viharati. Yeah. And then say Bahiddakaye Samudaya Dhammanupassi, Bahiddakaye Vaya Dhammanupassi, Bahiddakaye Samudaya Vaya Dhammanupassi. So actually, this is a really good exercise for you to get into the Eightfold Noble Path. Until you actually decode this, you see, this is what Anuruddha says. He says, until you, either you understand the Eightfold Noble, this, either you understand this, if you, do it the right way, Satipatthana, then you are on the Eightfold Noble Path. Otherwise, you are left out. You are out of it. Yeah. So now what we need to figure out is what is Ajjatta Kaya? What's Bahidda Kaya? What's Ajjatta Bahidda Kaya? What is Ajjatta Kaya? Ajjatta Bahidda, we figured, in one of our previous lessons, we figured Ajjatta Bahidda. I will give you an example. Ahanti Ajjattang Mamanti Bahidha. I is Ajjatta, my is Bahidha. Yeah. Now let's think of it like this. How do you construct I?
Was it not inside and outside?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. Was it not inside and outside?
Well, literally that's what it means, Alex. But literally, Ajjata means inside, Bahidha means outside. But in the dharmic context, Ajjata Bahidha has to be understood in a kind of a metaphoric way. This is where we go wrong. When we develop Satipatthanas, we say, oh, this body is like this, and that body is like this. Okay, just like this body, so is that body. And then you have fallen into this duality, and then you have lost the path. Yeah, Ajjata Bahidha has to be properly understood. Yeah, it is, you can say it is internal and external, of course. That's what literally what it means. So I is something that you internalize. It's a construct. Like how do I form the concept of I? I form the concept of I because you have seen my things. Yeah, you go in front of a mirror, you see something and you say, oh, that's me. Whenever you see a picture of yours, you see, oh, that's me. Yeah. So it is on the basis of my things we form I. Just like a car. Now, how many of you have seen a car? Nobody has seen a car.
Oh, that was that was the example you gave with all the parts of the car, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. The Buddha says, Yatahi anga sambhara hoti saddo ratho iti. We put the parts together and we form a car. Who made the car? We made it. Did the car manufacturer made it? No. All what they did was put in those parts together. And each part is in turn, it has the same thing. Like if you take who made the car engine? Where is the car engine? It's a whole bunch of metals. Yeah. So when you actually dissect all this, you don't find any entity anywhere in the world. Yeah. Do you get my point? It's not an easy thing to understand, but you will understand at some point. So yatahi anga sambhara hoti saddo ratho iti evan kandesu santesu Now these 5 aggregates, form, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness, these 5 things give us the idea that this is a person, this is a thing. Yeah. But isn't it that, we construct it by putting part, and then the real ignorance is we think that by putting these parts together, a whole thing arises. Yeah. How many of you have made a milk tea?
Yes.
That's another example of mine. Yeah. Milk tea. By putting together hot water, tea bag, milk, and sugar, you think you are making a milk tea. Yeah? Bloody hell. we shouldn't be swearing, okay? Don't swear in the Pali class, please. I didn't swear, okay? I said bloody hell. Okay. So this is the mistake that we fall into. We think we are making, just like that car. I mean, when you go to a part shop, all your parts of your car are just disassembled and put in the shelves. And do you ever see a car? No, never. So all the ajjatas, whatever you have formed internally as in the world, I mean, even in a tip of a pin, a pin drop, or a tip of a pin, if you find something as a whole, collective thing, then you are forming an eternalistic idea or existentiality. So that is basically Sakkaya Ditthi. That's your wrong view. Yeah. So I mean, that view is good if for the world, as Mahachattarisaka Sutta said, that is Sasava Punya Bhagya Upadivepakha, but not Anasava Lokuttara Magganga. For you to be Anasava, you have to really understand this. So if you find some tire, some unit anywhere in the world, either through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind, then you have subscribed to the eternalism, Sassata Ditti. And if you just say, oh, they don't exist, and they arise and disappear, they come and go. As they arise, they disappear. In whatever shape or form, you are still in the Sakkaya Ditthi. Yeah? Did you get my point?
Yes, and mind-blowing as it was, yes.
It is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. Yeah. So that is ajjata. Ajjat, ajjattam vakai. So if there is no ajjata, can there be a bahidda? No. So the ajjata disappears, bahidda disappears. Past disappears, present disappears, future disappears. Near or far. And this is why the Buddha said, Tasmatihe bhikkhave rupa. Atita anagata pachupannang ajjattam va bahidda va yandure santike va olarikam va sukumam va netang mama. You can't identify with any of these. You can't grasp any of these. Neso hamasmi. I'm not that. Nameso atta. So your idea of atta is gone now. Yeah? So ajjatta kaya, bahidda kaya, ajjatta bahidda kaya. Now even the third one is even more subtle. Ajjatta bahidda kaya here means what? I wish I had a whiteboard for you to explain this, but I can't write for some reason. Mara has stopped me actually enlightening you. So that's not my fault. That's your fault. Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, so ajjatta kaya, bahidda kaya. Then ajjatta bahidda kaya is the dependent arising. When this is, arising of this arises this. Now that's the dependent origination. If I see something like a phone, or this is my phone, this is phone, and then you see the ajjatta bahidda together, ajjatta and bahidda, ajjatta bahidda. That is, when this is, when as long as my ignorance is there, I will have a phone. The rising of my rising of my ignorance arises a phone. Yeah. And when a phone disappears, or when my ignorance disappears, when my ignorance disappears, phone disappears. Yeah. So now that's the ajjatta bahidda. That's actually, even the dependent arising, that is also, that's also a sankhara itself, because that was created by your mind. Yeah, it's a mind made. Yeah. So now see how wise this the conversation between Venerable Anuruddha and Mahamoggalana is fantastic. Yeah, so unless you listen to this so you will not understand what Satipatthana is. Because Satipatthana, then you will do it mindfulness in the world. It's called Lokiya. Lokiya Satipatthana, not Lokuttara. Not at the Aryan level, but at the worldly level. Yeah. So that's actually, yeah. So I would actually what I could do is, this is the Samyutta Nikaya. Samyutta Nikaya, Anuruddha Samyutta, very first sutta. Read this sutta very carefully and see if you understand it. Sometimes people understand, or sometimes they stand under. That's what Ajahn Sumedho says, standing under. So when you don't understand, you stand under. So then you will really, you have to understand now. Now this is why in the Satipatthana Sutta, in the Mindfulness Sutta, 21 times the Buddha repeats the same thing. Iti ajjattam va kai kayanupassi virati bahiddava kai kayanupassi virati ajjatta bahiddava kai kayanupassi virati samudaya dhammanupassi va kai asmin virati vaya dhammanupassi va kai asmin samudaya vaya dhammanupassi va kai asmin virati atthikayoti va panaspa Satipachupatita hodi yavadeva jnanamattaya patisatimattaya anisitoja virati nachikinchi loke upadi. So unless you understand that part, you can't really get into the Eightfold Noble Path proper. Getting into the Eightfold Noble Path. I mean, we all think, oh, I have the right view. Yes, you have the right view in a mundane sense, but not in the Aryan sense. Yeah, it's that subtle. So shall I leave that in your good hands to read it carefully? Patamara Sutta, and then we will have a conversation. Again, next time, and then see if you have really understood it. Alex.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, great idea. Okay, so we have only 2 more minutes, and I would like I'd like to end this discussion with another blessing. Yeah, Bhante Dhammarathana is so busy dissecting the sutta, decoding the sutta. Yeah, very good. So thanks to Venerable Anuruddha now, we have a key to open the Satipatthana. This is really the key of the Satipatthana. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, folks. Shall we? But he's so busy. Yeah.
Not busy.
Not busy. Okay, Bhante. Will you give us a blessing so that we will understand Satipatthana? So, because we are a little short of merit. Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, our Professor Sunil Kariyakarawana and Vijita Hamdru and Vijay and Alex and dear my Dhamma friends. Buddha thought, may the Buddha bless you always. May Dhamma guide you. The middle path is the way to wisdom, the path to Nibbana. Be well, happy, peaceful, our Dhamma friends. Say Gata, special Gata, with the blessings, both of us, Vijita Hamdru. दुख रोग भया वेरा शोका सब्बे उपद्रवा अनेका अंतरायापि विनश्यन्तु च तेजसा जय सिद्धि धनं लाभं सुद्धि भाग्यं सुखं बलं सिरियायुच वंनो च भोगं उद्देचयस्वा सतवस्साच आयुच जीव सिद्धि भवन्तु ते एतेन सच्चवञ्जेन दुःखा भयारोगा उपशमिन्तु ते
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Venerables. Yeah. And thank you. Lovely to see you both, Vijay and Alex. Yeah. So please spend a little bit of time on this sutta, Patamarahoga Sutta. It's beautiful. And so hopefully we can, I mean, if you have not understood tonight, we can crack it, hopefully, next week. Only thing is, I will be in Sri Lanka. I will be speaking to you from Sri Lanka. Probably, maybe Bhante, Vijayasiri and myself, we can do it together. Yeah. Yes. Are you
Maybe
coming
I'm
to?
coming.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to come, Bhante. Yeah, Dhammarathana. When are you planning to visit Sri Lanka?
Maybe next month, sir.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Fantastic. So, so I'm just going there for a short while. Alex, you have to come make your way as well to Sri Lanka. Yeah, more.
Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to swim there.
Let's do that. Okay. Let's do that. Excellent. You know, the Dharma will take you there. It's a Dharma land.
Absolutely.
Yeah, miracle land. Yes. Amazing. So, okay, so let's dedicate the merits of tonight's session to alleviate suffering of all beings everywhere. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, we'll see you all next week. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Until next
Yeah.
week.
Take
Good night.
care.
Thanks to you all and have a lovely week ahead.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vijay.
You're
Hope
welcome.
your son gets better. Is he
Yes, sir,
still?
very soon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's not totally recovered.
Yeah.
but
Give
hopefully-
him a lot of fluid. Yeah. Yeah. He should be all right. Yeah.
Touch for it.
Yeah. Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu. All right. See you all. Great to see you.
See
Thank
you.
you.
See you.
Bye. Bye.